So you're wondering, is the Hutchison Caracal Race as fast as everybody says? Well, the answer is yes, but it comes with what I perceive as two flaws. One, which is pretty major for the style of riding that I do. For the ultimate straight line speed, these are the best tires that I've ever tested. So yeah, they are fast. So let's look at the specs of this tire. It's a 700 by 45 that actually measured out to 49 millimeters on my 30 millimeter internal width wheels. That's a huge difference. That's 4 millimeters, so it can make or break the fitment in your bike. Hutchison states that this tire is 500 grams. I was not even close to that with the two tires that I tested. One measured out to 572 grams and the other one is 578 grams. Now I know that the sales tax in Quebec are 15%, but let's not add 15% of weight to our tires. That has me worried on quality control because what they state and what I measured is a huge difference. Usually in manufacturing, you're gonna have a tolerance of 3 to 5%. Now this being close to 15% really has me wondering about quality control. Pressure wise, using the Silca tire pressure calculator and using a 240 pounds system weight, I came out to a pressure of 28 psi at the front and 30 psi in the back. The construction of this tire is very supple, and something that I noticed, and no, I didn't do drugs, is that the sidewall is very soft and very nice to touch. I know it sounds funny, but it's something that I noticed, so I'm just sharing it with you. This was one of the easiest tires to set up tubeless. I actually did it with a simple floor pump. Now let's talk about climbing with this tire. If you're riding on road or you're riding on champagne, super small, very fast gravel, well, it's gonna go well if that gravel is dry. Now being a center slick tread tire, pretty much like all center slick tires, if you get into mud or into wet, you're gonna have issues having traction and all that stuff. It actually achieved the climb on the dry conditions, but when I did it in the wet, we had a good downpour. When I went to test it out, well, I couldn't make it up the hill with this tire. One unusual thing that I noticed also is that even in category 2 gravel that was dry, I was spinning out the rear tire on steep climbs. It would just not dig in, it would not grab, it would just stay on top of the gravel and just spin out. Something that had never happened to me in all the other tires that I've tested. Let's talk about going downhill on this tire. If you're using it once again on category 1 and on the road, these tires are awesome unless you have to corner with a lot of speed. One thing also that I've noticed is that on bigger category gravel, you're gonna have the feeling that the tire and your bike is floating on top and become vague in category 2 gravel at a high speed. Handlebar input, bike lean, and braking become sketchy and imprecise. It actually reminds me of a car when it's aquaplaning on the road. My confidence was down, my nerves were up, my anxiety was up. I was not allowing myself to really ride the bike because I had no confidence in the input that I was putting in the bike and that the tire would actually respond and do what I wanted. Rated as one of the best gravel tire for rolling resistance with a minimum of 1 millimeter tread on the shoulders according to bicycle rolling resistance. Unfortunately, the minimal tread on the edge of the tire doesn't offer a lot of grip even on dry gravel. The cornering ability of this tire reminds me of the experience that I had with the Schwalbe G-One RS Pro 45. I feel that when you lean the bike, there's no grip there. The bike doesn't want to hold its line. It wants to just keep on going and understeer. So I was going around corners holding my speed and I was not able to hold the line that I wanted. Like the bike was just incrementally going outside and outside, and leaving me very little room to actually feel comfortable of making the corner. This is a very, very round tire. You see it that it's filed, then it gets thicker and thicker by the time you get to the edge of the tire. That makes it very round, very predictable on turning. Although these tires are super fast in straight lines, I got no PR while using them. Why? I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I had no confidence cornering on these tires, so whenever I had to go around the corner, I was going a lot slower than, let's say, I did with the Pathfinder TLR, which is a tire I had an amazing experience on, and I found that you had plenty of grip when you were leaning your bike. Speaking of confidence, I took these tires out on a bike packing adventure. And you know what? For the first time in 7 years, I actually got a puncture. It was a pinhole puncture in the file tread of the rear tire. I'm very happy that I actually went on that bike packing adventure on these tires because it allowed me to really test them out in various conditions and under the pressure of having to be able to complete the route because we only had 2 days and that was the plan. I couldn't just go back home and say, you know what, I'm gonna fix the tire later on or whatever. No, I was out there, I had to fix it and get it going once again. Now, although a lot of people say that these tires are prone to punctures, it's not because I got my first puncture in 7 years that it confirms such saying that we can find on the internet. So to finish up on the Hutchison Caracal Race, it is a very fast tire. It is a tire that doesn't offer a lot of cornering grip. So if you don't need that, it might suit you, but it doesn't suit me. I still have questions about quality control because that's a huge discrepancy in the weight department. Would I recommend this tire on your all-road bike, like a 40mm tire and all that stuff? Yeah. If you're doing more road, like 80%, 90% road rides, and 10% very light gravel, this tire might actually fit your need, and it would be my recommendation. It is super fast, grips very well on pavement. For all-around use, they rank pretty low in my 45mm bracket that I'm testing in 2026. Hey, you. Yes, you. I see all of you. Like 90% of you are not subscribed to the channel, and that's huge. If you ever want to see more gravel tire reviews, simply subscribe to the channel down there. It is free for you, does wonders for my channel, so thank you for doing that. On that note, enjoy the thrill of your rides.